Yeah. Okay, so Dragon Ball Daima's out, and it's not what you think it is.
Tomorrow, episode 2 is coming out, so I'll cover that as well. But let's just focus on catching up. By the way, real quick, shout out to all my subscribers. Yesterday I was at 13, made an animated special. Go watch. Today we just hit 40. Y'all are the reason why my mom still has a son.
So, this review will have spoilers. Shout out to River Song, so if you're not into that, you have been warned. For everyone else, share your thoughts in the comments. And so we begin. For me, it wasn't what I thought it was, and funny enough, exactly what I thought it was going to be.
So, Dragon Ball Daima takes place right after the Z Saga, just like every other show that Dragon Ball has released since Dragon Ball Z has ended. R.I.P. the GOAT. So the series starts with episode 1, which is the perspective of the villains, who are newly introduced as Supreme Kai's younger brother and sister, as well as the new Demon King who takes over the mantle after Deborah. Which sounds cool, right? Except, what the fuck are those lips? I mean, what do we have going on here? So the villains here suffer from the same thing that's been plaguing Cartoon Network for a decade and a half, the MCU, and is why anime has been and is still sometimes regarded as for kids. They're silly as for me at least. Art has always been supposed to reflect life. And I feel like it's why the silly, and maybe it's just me, and maybe it's the same for others, but I feel like it's why the overly silly isn't working. And really, truly, comment if you agree, because I feel like I'm going crazy here. And it's not to say that things can't be lighthearted, like I'm not some, shill for darker tone.
Damnation, destruction.
Hashtag Zack Snyder. But no, there has to be a balance to it, right? Like, take the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies for an example. Those are great when darker tones are introduced. Like in the first one, Spider-Man not being good enough. The second one, him not being able to manage the responsibility of Tony and all of the things that are coming with that. And then the last one, him losing his Aunt May and struggling with actually wanting to kill fucking William Dafoe. Me personally, I feel like it's these darker tones that make things real and resonate deep with audiences, that make them more engaged and make them actually appreciate things more, which I guess is redundant, but you know what? I'm thinking of stuff off the top of my head, so lay off. With Dragon Ball Z Daima, or Dragon Ball Daima, so wait, it went from DB to DBZ to DBGT to DBS to DBD. Wow. LOL. At any rate, the villains in Dragon Ball Daima off the gate are shown to be super whimsical, overly silly, the stuff we all hate.
When I say we, I mean me and the clones I have in the closet.
And with all that silliness, it just feels like they're weak. Like, the villains were gawking at feats that seem, especially after watching Dragon Ball Super, trivial and minor. Like, I feel like Goku could take them all out with 2 kisses to the forehead. At one point in the show, I actually laughed and hit this pose right here, because to nerf the heroes, the villains proposed and formulated a plan to turn them all into kids, which from a writing perspective is hilarious, because GT was heavily criticized for doing the same shit to Goku. So it's like, of all things, why bring that back? I do want to give praise to where praise is due. The animation in this is phenomenal, and you guys have seen my animation. If you haven't, checked out my other video, 13 subscriber special. It was but anyway, yeah, the animation in this was amazing, and I have to give credit there. But you know what I'd want to see in the Dragon Ball Z series? If I could just click my heels back and forth and wish upon a star, gather the Dragon Balls and make just one simple request. Bring back the Saiyans. How about that? And I'm not talking about the malnourished Universe 6 Saiyans. I mean, actually bring back Universe 7's own Planet Vegeta. Imagine the potential story with the galaxy now overrun with violence-loving Saiyans. They all learn how to become Super Saiyans after seeing Goku and Vegeta, and their presence just has some sort of negative effect in the galaxy. Maybe they make a play on Earth. Shoot, get me in the writer's booth and let me know what you guys think in the comments, but
Appreciate you watching, and until next time.